The biggest mistake your enemies ever made was choosing their ego over you. They thought they were winning when they rejected you, betrayed you, or looked down on you. They believed they had the upper hand when they walked away, when they turned their backs, when they made you feel like you were not enough. But what they didn't realize was that their decision was never about you. It was about them. Their ego blinded them. It made them think they were powerful, superior, in control. And now, that same ego is destroying them from within. You see, ego is a deceiver. It makes people believe that they are always right, that they never need to apologize, that they can treat others however they want and face no consequences. It gives them a false sense of security, making them believe that they are invincible, untouchable. But the truth is, ego is a slow poison. It destroys a person from the inside out. The ones who let their pride push you away are now feeling the weight of that mistake, even if they will never admit it. At first, they may have felt powerful. They may have enjoyed the illusion of control. They may have laughed, thinking they had won, thinking they had proven something to you by walking away or treating you as if you were insignificant. But what they didn't realize is that the chosen ones are not ordinary people. You were not placed in their lives by accident. You were sent as a lesson, as a blessing, as an opportunity for them to grow. But instead of recognizing your value, they let their pride get in the way. And now, their own ego is their greatest enemy. They see you thriving, but they cannot congratulate you. They see you healing, but they cannot reach out. They see that you were never the problem, but their pride won't allow them to say the words they know they should. I was wrong. I should have never doubted you. I should have valued you when I had the chance. But ego does not allow for humility. It does not allow for self-reflection. It does not allow for peace. And that is why those who chose ego over you are now suffering in silence. Their mind is restless. Their spirit is heavy. Their heart is filled with unspoken regrets. The very thing they thought would protect them, their pride, is now the reason they cannot move forward. Think about this. How many times have you seen someone let their pride ruin something beautiful? How many times have you witnessed people push away those who truly cared for them, only to regret it later? This is the cycle of the ego. It destroys relationships. It creates distance. It builds walls where there should be bridges. And when the damage is done, it refuses to allow a person to make things right. But here's what they don't understand. You were never their enemy. You never wished for their downfall. You never wanted revenge. All you ever wanted was to be seen, to be valued, to be appreciated for the love, the wisdom, and the energy you brought into their lives. But instead of recognizing that, they let their ego make the decisions. And now they are realizing that they did not just lose a person, they lost a divine connection, a once-in-a-lifetime presence. The chosen ones are rare. You do not come around often. You do not enter someone's life without a purpose. You are the lesson that most people do not recognize until it's too late. And those who let their ego push you away are now facing the consequences, not because you wished harm upon them, but because this is the universal law of life. You do not reject something sacred and expect to be rewarded. You do not betray the chosen and walk away unscathed. Their ego convinced them that they didn't need you, that they could do better, that they were in control. But ego is a liar. It tells people what they want to hear, not what they need to hear. It convinces them that they are always right, even when they are destroying everything good in their lives. And now, as they watch you from afar, they are coming to a painful realization. Their ego was never their strength. It was their downfall. The saddest part. Most of them will never admit it. They will suffer in silence, pretending they are fine, acting as if nothing is wrong, convincing themselves that they made the right choice. But deep down, they know the truth. They lost someone irreplaceable. They lost someone who truly cared. They lost someone who only wanted the best for them. And now it's too late. The damage is done. The bridge is burned. And the ones who chose ego over you are left with nothing but the empty echoes of their own pride. Ego is a silent destroyer. It doesn't strike all at once. It works slowly, eating away at a person from the inside. Those who chose their pride over you thought they were making the right decision at the time. They thought ignoring you, dismissing you, or even betraying you would make them feel powerful, untouchable. But now, that same pride is the very thing tormenting them. They are trapped in a battle with themselves, and they are losing. At first, they might have celebrated their decision. They may have told themselves that they were better off without you. Maybe they surrounded themselves with distractions, new people, new places, new experiences, to convince themselves they were right. They might have even mocked you, thinking you were suffering without them. But time has a way of revealing the truth. And as days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, something began to shift within them. The void you left behind could not be filled. No matter how much they tried to replace you, forget you, or bury the memories, something was missing. You see, when you are truly chosen, you bring something into people's lives that cannot be replaced. Your energy is unique. Your presence is healing. Your words, your love, your wisdom, they are not things that just anyone can offer. And deep down, they are starting to realize this. The people they chose over you do not understand them the way you did. The situations they ran toward are not as fulfilling as they expected. The victories they thought they were winning feel empty now because they lost something much greater in the process. You. Now they are battling the consequences of their own choices. But the hardest part? Their ego will not allow them to fix it. Even if they wanted to reach out, even if they wanted to apologize, something inside them resists. That voice in their head, the same one that made them push you away, now tells them it's too late. That it would be weak to admit they were wrong, that they should just keep pretending they don't care. But the more they suppress their regrets, the heavier they become. Every day they carry the weight of their decisions, and the burden grows stronger with time. Some of them have even tried to convince themselves that they don't miss you. They act unbothered, indifferent. They may even go out of their way to appear happy, to make it seem like their life is better without you. But deep down, they feel the absence. They feel the loss. And the worst part? They know they did it to themselves. They chose their ego, and now their ego is punishing them. Ego is a prison that keeps people stuck in cycles of pain. It won't let them grow, it won't let them heal, and it won't let them make things right. The longer they hold on to their pride, the more they suffer in silence. They replay past conversations in their head, remembering the things you said, the way you cared, the love you gave so freely. And each time they do, they are reminded of how much they took you for granted. But by now, you've outgrown the version of yourself that would have waited for them to realize their mistake. You are no longer seeking closure, no longer looking for explanations. You've moved forward, you've healed, and you've stepped into your power. The silence between you speaks louder than any words ever could, and that silence is driving them crazy. At night, when the world quiets down and there are no more distractions, they are left alone with their thoughts, and in those moments, their ego cannot protect them. They start to wonder, what if I had treated them differently? What if I had swallowed my pride? What if I had chosen love instead of proving a point? These thoughts haunt them, but their pride won't let them admit it. Not to you, not to anyone. They see you from a distance, doing better than ever, and it eats them alive. They expected you to fall apart without them, but instead, you flourished. You became stronger, wiser, more successful. They thought they were hurting you by walking away, but in reality, they freed you from their toxic cycle. And now, they are left with nothing but regrets. This is the karma of ego. It makes people believe they are winning, while it secretly destroys them from the inside. It gives them a false sense of security, only to leave them completely alone in the end. And that's exactly what's happening to those who chose their pride over you. They thought they had the power, they thought they were in control, but in the end, they played themselves. The truth always comes full circle. No matter how much people try to deny it, no matter how much they run from it, the consequences of their choices will always catch up to them. And for those who chose their ego over you, reality is starting to hit hard. They are beginning to see the depth of their mistake, not just in fleeting thoughts, but in their everyday life. Their relationships feel empty, their victories feel meaningless, their heart is restless. And now, no matter how much they pretend, they cannot escape the truth that is eating away at them from the inside. But here's the thing about ego. It doesn't just ruin relationships. It ruins people. It isolates them. It keeps them trapped in cycles of self-sabotage, unable to grow, unable to truly connect with anyone. And this is exactly what's happening to them now. They might try to convince themselves that they don't care, that they don't need you, that they are better off without you. But their actions speak louder than their words. The silent suffering, the restless energy, the way they watch you from a distance but never reach out. All of it is proof that they are struggling more than they will ever admit. You see, when they chose their pride, they thought they were protecting themselves. They thought they were saving face, avoiding vulnerability, keeping control. But instead, they built their own prison. A prison where their thoughts replay past conversations, where their mind is haunted by what-ifs, where their heart longs for something it once had but will never have again. And the worst part, they did this to themselves. No one forced them to walk away. No one forced them to choose their ego. It was their decision, and now they are suffering the consequences of their own actions. And while they are stuck in their pride, you have moved forward. You are not waiting for an apology. You are not waiting for closure. You are not waiting for them to realize their mistake. You have healed, you have grown, and you have stepped fully into your purpose. You have become everything they once tried to hold back. And that is what hurts them the most. Not just that they lost you, but that they lost you at the exact moment you became unstoppable. They never thought you would leave for good. They assumed that you would always be there, that you would always give them another chance, that your heart was too big to ever walk away completely. But now, as they watch you rise higher and higher, as they see you living your best life without them, reality is sinking in. You were the blessing they failed to recognize. You were the light they took for granted. You were the rarest kind of soul, and now they will never experience that again. And here's the painful truth they don't want to admit. They need you more than you ever needed them. They thought they had power over you, but in reality, you were the one who carried the real power. The power to love deeply, the power to forgive, the power to heal, the power to see people's souls when they couldn't even see their own. And now, without you, they are left empty. They might try to fill the void with other people, other distractions, but nothing will ever compare. Because you were never just another person in their life. You were the one who brought meaning, who brought depth, who brought something real. And that is why their ego is now their greatest enemy. It keeps them silent when they want to reach out. It keeps them stuck in regret when they want to make things right. It keeps them watching from a distance, paralyzed by their own pride. But the chapter is closed. The version of you that would have waited for them is gone. The version of you that would have accepted their excuses no longer exists. You have stepped into your destiny, and there is no looking back. And that is their final punishment. Not revenge, not anger, not hate, just this, watching you succeed without them, knowing they could have been part of your story, but they let their ego write them out of it. And now, Now it's too late. They chose their pride, and their pride destroyed them. And you? You chose yourself, and that is why you are finally free.